Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all glory, honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Baharach HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Israel who rule and teach all, to the Akim and the highways and byways, and those pushing this word in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in this truth. Now, my brother sent me this video. It was something I'd seen a little while back. I just wanted to share some of it and just have a little talk on it, because it shows, Esau's real mindset. You may think that is out for your good. He may do certain things for you which you think is good, but then ultimately you're going to realize that it doesn't mean you any well. And it plays out very well in this lesson, in this film here. So it's a short clip. I'm going to play some of it, and we can talk on it. Yeah, hope you enjoy this, man. And shalom to the Akim then joining in. Yoanafa, Bakar, Shagala, Bakarat, Barakium, and Far Wamlab. Shalom Akims, man. But yeah, like I said, this video here, it shows Esau's real mindset. How he really feels and think. No matter how much good he may do for you, ultimately is never for your part in it. So let's just take this in.
Last year, the gap between black salaries and white widened. Wait, something's now happening at Plymouth Rock.
What I want to do is just make a disclaimer, because obviously this ain't mine, so this is just being played for educational purposes. Yeah, educational purposes.
Striker.
As you can hear, Bernie, there's definitely something going on now. We can't see anything yet, but this humming is definitely growing louder. Ever since the alien signal was first received some 3 months ago, speculation has run rampant as to their appearance, the size and shape of their craft. Oh my God!
And if brothers can't hear the clip, please let me know. Please let me know.
That will restore your nation to its former glory. Nearly limitless quantities of gold and precious metals that will instantly erase your deficit. Machines that will renew your rivers and your air. Cold fusion technology for a safe, cheap, and inexhaustible source of energy. All we ask in return is the delivery to our vessels. 5 days from now, every child, woman, and man in your nation with at least 2,500 milligrams of melanin in their skin per square centimeter. What the hell is melanin? Put more simply, in trade for solving all your most pressing domestic catastrophes, we are asking for every person in your country that you would classify as black.
And you're gonna see how easy it is. Esau is just out for greed at the end of the day. Shalom, hopeful election to all tribes. Yeah, you see that Esau, all he's out for is greed. And this is going to show you that easily. For them to get all of these things, all they have to do is give up Jake to these aliens, quote unquote. Yeah.
Well, that does not concern you. We give you 5 days to decide, and the offer is non-negotiable. We will not try to coerce you in any way, yet I hope we can do some business together.
We
wait all this time for a fucking UFO and they come here with this? This is all bullshit, right?
Maybe. Maybe this day's gonna go down in history. An end to poverty. End to...
And bear in mind, there's only one Jake in this room, you know. There's just one Jake in this room. Let's see how quickly they either defend Jake or, you know, sail him down the river.
pollution. Cheap, unlimited energy for every American. Sounds like a hell of a re-election platform.
Sam, I have to go on record as saying this is crazy.
But what?
Well, welfare rolls would be cut 40%. Food stamps, Medicare, drug abuse programs slashed.
May I add something, Mr.
And you have to ask yourself, why is our people so high on these things anyway? You know, this Esau put us in a situation where you know we rely on these things. We are caught in that middle trap. They set these things up for us to fail. They don't set them up for us to benefit from.
President, you know, if I could guarantee the prosperity of this great country by giving life or taking off of those space traders, I'd do so without a moment's hesitation.
You know, the Secretary's courage is not unlike that American men and women have exhibited when called to military service. Well, some go more willingly than others, but almost all go with the knowledge that they might never come back.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. Doesn't anybody see a downside to this?
You know, Casper's absolutely right. The guilt that many whites would feel for sending the blacks away could take a severe psychological toll, with medical costs possibly reaching astronomical levels.
And the guilt, like, if they were to send us away, let's say this situation was for real, there would be no guilt in sending us away, because the guilt is actually having to see us day in, day out, knowing what you've done to us. That's where the guilt lies. So they'll send us away, you know, within a heartbeat.
This is madness. Our military services would be decimated, depleted of 30% of our manpower.
But with unlimited energy, think of the weapons you could create.
And that's the first thing on Esau's mind, weapons. Yeah, to create death and destruction. Not with unlimited energy. Look how we could supply homes with, you know, free heating or lighting or whatever. The first thing on his mind is weapons.
Mr. President, Sam, you were elected by the slimmest of margins. Your African-American vote was key. I don't expect them to be thrilled, but how can I put this delicately? Their future electoral clout is going to be severely limited.
Casper, let's be honest. Do you really think the aliens will treat them worse than we have?
No, the real issue.
And that's the only truth that's been said right now. You know, the way that they've treated us, and they know how they've treated us. This is why, you know, they'll send us away in a heartbeat, you know, out of sight, out of mind.
You here to spin control. The decision has to be the will of the people and not the administration policy.
How about a national referendum? Have MCI fire up a couple of those yes and no 900 numbers.
Be damned. We're onto something here.
Now, at first, he was acting like, right, you know, this ain't right, man. You know, it's not right. But then, look, all of a sudden now, we're onto something here. You know, Esau will switch on you in a heartbeat, man. Yeah, shalom, Daniel Allah, shalom.
Professor Golightly, you look like you want to say something.
Gentlemen. As you know, Mr. President, I have been a lifelong card-carrying Republican. I feel I was instrumental in your moderate wing wresting control of the party from religious extremists. I have often supported this administration's repeal of affirmative action legislation, not protested its decreasing handouts to the poor. And in helping you undermine these policies, I realized that your reasons for doing so differed from mine.
And the thing is, we have Jakes like that today. You know, they don't really care about their own people. They just care about, you know, what they can achieve. And they're going to realize in that day the same thing this guy is realizing. You know, Esau is not for your turn.
And yet I was always a good soldier for the party. I sincerely believed.
Sell out. That's what
Still
he means.
believe.
Yeah.
Black people need.
Yeah. When he said he was a good soldier, mean he was a sellout.
Differed from mine. And yet I was always a good soldier.
Yeah, good
for the
sellout.
party. I sincerely believed and still believe that black people need to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet without the crutches of governmental legislation. But I'm afraid I must protest in the strongest terms possible what I've heard in this room today. What is being proposed cannot be passed off euphemistically as selective service. At its best, it is group banishment. At its worst, it is utter and complete extermination.
Oh, Professor, that's ridiculous.
Wait. Did I miss something? Who said anything about exterminate? Space traders seem perfectly nice and civil. Their planet might be one great big Club Med for all we know.
Sam, we do not even know if these creatures can deliver on their end. You and I play poker together. What if they're as good at bluffing as you are?
Now you're whistling Dixie. I look like a damn idiot if the aliens took off and left me nothing but a big bag of tortilla chips.
Yeah, they might have to start actually doing something for themselves now. Because who's actually the workhorse in this kingdom? You know, who's actually the grind? You know, doing all the hard work? We are. It's lucky.
We'll ask them for a peek at the goodies. And if they're not BSing, we'll schedule a national referendum on the night before their deadline. Call up MCI, ask them to fire up 2 yes and no 900 numbers. Gentlemen, lady.
Yes, talk to me. Well, first of all,
The federal deficit, but also imposing sources confirm that France, England, and Germany have offered their blacks as well. But the alien spokesperson is quoted as saying, maybe next time.
Yeah, so even in the other nations, they're willing to sell us out as well. Alright, let me quickly skip forward a bit. Okay.
Pick up that slack. Plan to decimate athletics, you say.
There's another bit I want to jump to. Where is it? Okay.
Gentlemen, welcome to Alien Trade Referendum. Just saying. No! Oh, can you imagine life without jazz? No. Or without the blues? No. Or without rock and roll? No. Well, that's what life would have been like in these United States without the contributions of African Americans.
And that's all they seem to think that we've contributed, you know, sports, music, and entertainment. Yeah.
Good. If this referendum passes and we vote to send dark-skinned people up into outer space, tell you one thing, you can forget about ever seeing another dream team again.
you know, we didn't bring any science to you. Keep it to yourself.
Alright, another bit. Yeah, Shalom. Shalom. You find this other section. Yeah, this bit here. There we go.
People, the sit-ins and the boycotts have worked. We are ahead in the polls.
Hold on.
Don't count your chickens before. And the boycotts have worked. We are out your chickens before they come home to roost.
Oh, somebody bring me some milk, because he come a big Oreo.
Yes, yes. Give him a chance. We are ahead in the polls. Who knows how these people will vote? Privacy of their own homes.
Oh, sit down, Tony.
I am well aware of how I am perceived, but now is not the time for our petty squabbling. Now, this came to me this morning. In order to ensure victory.
And that's what would happen, you know, in those kind of situations. That's when our leaders, them, who ain't really there to help our people but to benefit themselves, that's when they're going to realize that we're actually in this together. You know, we're all facing the same thing. Because as they say, you can only rise as high as the status of your nation. So no matter how Esau puts you up there, you know, you can only rise as high as you are as a people. Yeah, shalom now, shalom. Wake up,
We
Israel.
must stop resisting the offer and urge the country to accept the trader's proposition. Major motivation for racism in this country is the deeply held belief that black people should not have anything that white people don't. Not only do whites insist on better jobs, higher incomes, better neighborhoods, better schools, but they leap to gobble up our language, our dress, our music, and our dance. Therefore, I propose that from now until the polls open this evening, we circulate the rumor that the aliens have arranged for our transport to the wealthiest and most beautiful utopia in the known universe.
And what he doesn't realize, really, that's what these chariots are going to do for us, man. Now, I just want to move on. Yeah, I think it's there. I think this is where there.
Million Americans of African descent. Voting will begin in just a few seconds from now. As you know, 2 telephone numbers will appear on your screen, one in favor and one against the space trader's offer. After dialing the number of your choice, simply key in your personal security code. Here, lady.
Just want to jump forward to the outcome. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, with just 6% of the vote tallied, we project that the referendum will pass.
And there you have it, and that's the long and short bit. Oh, there we go.
You knew it was hopeless as soon as the idea was out of the bag. Didn't you?
All right, people off the bus and on the beat. Pop up, let's go. Get your belongings. Get over there.
Anyway, Jake's gonna have a real wake-up call in that day. So this is Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away." So no matter how nice and sweet, you know, Esau may come to you, just remember that his rust is not always, it's not all gone. It's still there. You know, no matter what he says, that hatred is still there, man. And the scriptures teaches us this. It says, "Set him not by thee, lest when he has overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Never let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Verse 16, it says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips. And we see that in the polls, you know, when they got elections coming around, you know, they tell you everything you want to hear, but ultimately they just want your votes, because, you know, nothing is done in this kingdom for our benefit. You know, the forefathers them didn't go through what they went through, you know, all the wickedness they did, for us to now be treated equally, so to speak, or fairly. Otherwise they would have established the kingdom in that manner. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, like we saw earlier on, you know, when they heard what they could obtain, everyone turned against us, you know, in the blink of an eye. He will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yeah, weren't they ahead in the polls? But then when they had to vote now, behind closed doors, where no one could see what they were doing, what happened? Yet shall he undermine thee, you know. So it says enemy, and that word enemy, when we look that up, there's a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. And from the annals of time, Esau has been actively opposed to us, man. He's been hostile to us. And most of our people don't see that, because they've been lulled into a deep sleep, man. The little crumbs that Esau throws our way, you know, makes, where it says, a gift destroyeth the heart. And that's the case with many of our people, man. They've accepted the gift, you know, and it's destroyed their mind. This is Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgression of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, yet forever, and he kept his wrath forever. And why has he got this anger? Why is this doing this? This is why he's got that anger, man. Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. That's what it boils down to. The blessings that we have. You know, let me quickly bring this out. This is from Mashak. It says, Sirach 13:19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. That's right. You know, no matter what Esau does, it's always for his benefit. It's never to benefit us at the end of the day, regardless of what he said. It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And those blessings still stands today. That's why it's imperative for our people to actually repent, man, because there's more judgment coming. You know, for us to receive these blessings, we have to repent. We have to come back to our power. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. But hold on, didn't you sell your birthright? The blessings comes with it. You sold it, and now you're trying to retrieve it back. It just goes, man. Same thing he did with the natives. Made numerous treaties, and when they felt it wasn't in their interest, they broke them. Now, this says, and even with this, they're very loose. It says, how many treaties did the United States make with the Indian tribes, and how many were upheld? It says, for centuries, treaties have defined the relationship between many Native American nations and the US. More than 370 ratified treaties have helped the US expand its territory and led to many broken promises made to American Indians. It says many, really and truly. What they should say, all the treaties then were broken. They didn't keep them. Yeah. This is Sirach 13. Sirach 6 and 13. It says, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. And how do we separate? Come out of the ways, the ideologies, you know, the thought patterns, the religions, all of these things. None of these things wasn't made for us. Yeah, we have to remember that the Most High put us in this situation for disobedience and for us to correct and amend our ways. But it says, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. Even some of the people in this truth, ain't for a part. You know, don't it say amongst my people are found wicked men? And it goes to show, you know, that same guy, he was one of the leaders of our people, so to speak. You know, what did he say? He even voted when he knew that it wasn't in our interests. He was only out for his own interests. And did that benefit him? No, because at this drop of a hat, they turned against him. This is, yeah, Sirach 13 and 17 from Mashak. It says, what fellowship has the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly. Exactly, man. So we have to mind, but ultimately, you know, the same ditch that Esau is trying to put us in is going to fall in it, man. Yeah. And those ships, those are actually for our deliverance. Those in the know knows that those are going to be our deliverance, man. This is Obadiah 1 and 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Everything that they've taken is going to be returned, yeah, with interest. Yeah, but I just wanted to play that video. You know, I found it very interesting. It shows the mindset of Esau. You know, give him a bit of shiny tinsel, and you know, if he thinks it's going to benefit him and he has to give you up to achieve it, it's going to happen, man. There's nothing you say or nothing you've done that will stop him. But yeah, you know, for everyone for joining in the precepts. Hopefully that was edifying. I can't remember the name of the movie, but yeah, with that I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all glory, honor and praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Yahar, Rakak, Kadash, Kwame Allah.